Good evening, fuckers, and we're back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video. And after this one, I'll have fully caught up with them all. So, yeah, if you have any more, now is a pretty good time to, yeah, bung them in the comments. So if you do have one, click on the link in the description. It will take you to the live stream where, yep, all of the requests are made. The actual playback of the live stream will start at the area where I go through all of the locos and routes that I have available. And yeah, so just put your request in the comment there, and we'll get it done. Now, having said all of that, this request, which came from JimJimPlays, it wasn't made anywhere in YouTube. He messaged me over Steam and yeah, requested this particular one. So yeah, Jim, once you're back from your holes, if you can just, you know, bung in the comments here that yes, you did actually request this one, then yeah, that would be a-okay. Now, what he actually requested was that he wanted to see a loco and stroke or a route where the power being supplied to the loco had to be changed. So specifically he was asking, you know, electric loco, and the electric power had to be changed from, you know, the overhead AC supply to the third rail DC supply. And yeah, I do have one loco that will do that, and one route that, yeah, requires me doing that at some point. So it didn't leave me with a great deal of options as far as, you know, what I was going to run. So here we are. This is the London Faversham high speed run. So this runs from St Pancras to, believe it or not, Faversham. So we are going to do the well, the entire St Pancras to Faversham route, and we are doing it in the class 395, aka the Javelin. Again, I didn't really have any option with, as far as this. It's the only route where I have to change, you know, power supply from AC to DC. And it's the only locomotive I have that gives me the option to do that. So it had to be these two. As far as specifics, we are starting at 10 AM. I have made it a clear day. But as this is the 16th such video, and I have not done a single run in these conditions so far, we're going to make this one, or set this in winter. I will also add that I was going to do a career scenario for this, because there is one career scenario on the London Faversham high speed run that I have not yet done, and it does involve running from St Pancras to Faversham in a class 395, but it is extremely difficult, plus it's set late at night, which means you can't see a fucking thing. So I thought, bollocks to it, we'll just do a quick drive instead. Right, anyway, everything's set up, let's get this underway. So class 395 is an EMU, but as you will see once we are in the cab, it's rather more than just your regular, yeah, your, your regular commuter multiple unit. So here we are. Oh yes, another reason why I went with this quick drive one is that the career scenario, it's raining throughout, and the noise of the windscreen wipers is really fucking annoying. So you will have that all the way through. No thank you. Anyway, you can also see that it is rather dark in here, and our view is not ideal, to put it mildly. We don't have a tremendous view from the cab here. Anyway, let's let passengers on and off. Let's get the lights sorted out. Okay, I have no idea why the lights are not doing anything, but there we go. Let's get the self-power test underway. In fact, this might be why the lights didn't. Yeah, there we go. Lights have now. So that's the setting I want. I don't know if I really want cabin lights. We'll leave them off for now, but if need be, we'll turn them on. Right, let's get underway. So, St Pancras to Faversham is 51.2 miles. Our ETA, according to this, is nearly 13 hours. That's clearly not right. And we will have to make one stop on the way. We're already speeding. The throttle is not very responsive. It seems to take an age for it to actually move. So, thankfully it's not very long between leaving St Pancras and being able to go full speed. A large part of the first part of this route is done through tunnels. We're going through a long sort of underground section. So we're about to enter the 40 mph section. I'm in a fair old size 12 car train for this run. I can't imagine it's going to make a huge amount of difference, except there'll be a lot more people complaining about my driving style. But as this is not a career scenario, I couldn't give a monkey's toss if they like it or not. Now, this thing here is our, it's basically the 395 Javelin's equivalent of the Class 370's C-APT system. So we're now into a 140 mph section. Now the problem is that the display here is in kilometers an hour. Mind you, so is this actually, so it's not so bad. If you're going here, then yeah, you get the old proper mph. But to put it mildly, it's nowhere near as good as the C-APT system that the 370 uses. Not least because if you accidentally go over, the emergency brakes always kick in. Always kick in. It also means that if this comes up with a slower speed, because you know you're having to slow down for any reason, if you don't react pretty much immediately, again the emergency brakes kick in. So the emergency brakes are constantly kicking in on this thing. I'm going to put the cab lights on for the moment, because while we're in this underground section, it is not so simple to be able to see what you're doing here. So as tempting as it is to always go right up to the maximum, I mean top speed here is 140 mph, but because of this awful implementation of the, I'll call it the C-APT system, you don't really want to do that. So yeah, we could be doing 225 kilometers an hour, but I'm going to stick with 217 or 216 then. So we are actually going 6 mph slower than I could. Fuck it, yeah, let's put up a bit. In fact, I think, yeah, notch 1 is just stopping me from losing any speed. But we are soon going to lose a fair bit of speed because we've got this rather steep uphill section coming up. We emerged from this tunnel, but I'm pretty sure we have another tunnel section coming along. So let's bring our speed nearer to 225 kilometers an hour. So yeah, here we go, the next tunnel section. And we will yeah, speed is decreasing rather slowly, so yeah, we're okay for now. And don't worry, the entire run is not underground. And also, this C-APT system is not operational for the entire run either. Once we are, well, certainly once we're outside London and we are not too far into Kent before the before this system is basically deactivated. So there is now going to be a change, but I can't see on the route what that change is. But surely it's got to be a speed decrease. So yeah, it wants us to slow down to 200 kilometers an hour, obviously. So yeah, I just about managed to do that in time. And now there's another one down to 170. Of course, none of these speed decreases that we've got here have appeared on the HUD. So if you purely go by the HUD, you really are going to constantly keep triggering the emergency brakes. Now, yeah, I have no idea why well, now it's coming up with 0. Now why is it telling us to stop? Is this next signal okay, yeah, so it's gone up to 100 again. Right, so speed up again. We're on a 1 in 43 climb. No wonder our acceleration is terrible. So yeah, now we could be doing, well, very briefly we were able to do 170. Now it's back to 100 again. So I'll take it up to 98. And now we can go back, we'll go up to 170 kilometers an hour. I wish there was an option of changing these to MPH. I'm much more familiar with speeds when it's in good old C of E. Right, so 100 is the max at the moment, despite what it says here. So at 97 we should be fine. 96. Well, let's put it into notch 1 and see if we can keep our speed at now again it's saying 0. But there is nothing as far as like the HUD is concerned, nothing as far as you know, I've not had the AWS you know, being set off by anything. So I'm going to ask to get close enough to these signals, but I can't see any signals here. I mean, is it this one? But that, well, it's not showing anything. Well, it looks like it is saying, yeah, that is a signal, but now the emergency brakes have kicked in. Because even though there is nothing on display anywhere, yeah, it's basically telling me I shouldn't have been moving. It's well, let's get some speed up anyway. The sooner we reach Ebbsfleet the better. Ebbsfleet is the location where we change from AC power to DC, and this fucking thing gets deactivated. So again, the emergency brakes have come in. I can't see any signals telling me I can't go any further. I can't see a fucking thing that is saying I can't go on. But this is saying to stop. It's not telling me why. And yeah, every time I try and get some speed up, the emergency brakes come along. You're starting to get a pretty good idea of why I can't stand this train, or this loco. So I'm going to keep crawling along at like 26, even though I'm in an area which I'm supposed to be able to do at 140 mph in. It's no wonder the ETA is saying it's going to take me the best part of 13 hours. I mean, this thing here is telling me I shouldn't be moving. It's telling me it's so often that every time I go above something like 25 mph, the emergency brakes kick in. But I cannot see anything either as far as the signals around here go, because there aren't any, or as far as the HUD is concerned. There is nothing that is saying to me I can't go on. But this fucking thing is yeah. So again, this here, this is apparently a signal, but that's not telling me a fucking thing. There's no lights there, so very specifically there's no red lights. I can't, you know, not go through red lights. So this display has now changed from 3 reds that tell me nothing to saying 0. So again, it's telling me I'm not supposed to be moving. Now, if I go any faster than 24, it seems to be that's when the emergency thing kicks in. I can turn off the cabin lights now, because they're really not needed. So I'm trying to keep my speed below, well, ideally below 25. I'll tell you what, let's see if we can get this. Again, we have a signal coming up in 1/3 of a mile. Now, if it's anything like all these other ones I've been passing, then again, it's not going to tell me anything at all. At the rate this is going, I will, well, yeah, I am going to take, you know, 12 hours 45 minutes to do this this run. There you go. Actually, no, that was just, yeah, the game waiting for me to actually do something, or the train waiting for me to do something. I mean, all this stuff here, none of, well, hardly any of it is actually, you know, you can actually interact with. But at the moment, none of it's helping. The only thing that's actually doing anything is, I say, the Javelin's C-APT system, which is no help at all. It is a massive, massive hindrance, and I fucking hate it. When you consider that, you know, 1984, here we go. Right, so in 1984, we had the APT with this C-APT system that worked absolutely fine. Now we have this thing, which is just a monstrous pain in the arse. So am I seriously going to have to do this route? Because it looks like I'm not even on the fast line. See these power sort of pylons and that over there. I'm pretty sure that is the fast line. So why am I on here? And why am I having to crawl along at this ridiculous speed? I have no idea how far okay, that's Faversham. Where am I? I am right back here. The first station, Service 1. Well, there's a train waiting in there by the looks of it. So is that what's causing it then? Am I stuck behind that train? In which case, am I then going to have to... that's not a station. We've got another train here. Now what? I can't see what station that is. I don't think it's the one we're going on. So yeah, here's Ebbsfleet here. That's a long old way to go, crawling along at this sort of speed. So right, what I'm going to do, because this is utterly fucking farcical, is I'm going to cheat a bit by doing this. Going back to the main menu, but this time we will start on, not Faversham, we'll start at Ebbsfleet, and go as far as, now what was it, it was Faversham, wasn't it, I was going to, right. So, yep. So basically I've cut out the bit which seemed to be that I was, oh fucking hell now. And then it's just stopped working altogether. Right. So we are back the game has actually loaded now. So we are at Ebbsfleet International Station. Now, having reached here, that is as far as you can go if you are running on the AC power. So I've switched to DC, and I have hopefully got the DC power pickup deployed and active, although the train is very, very quiet. So let's see if it is going to let us run. Yes, there we go. So now we are running on DC power through the third rail. And the best thing about that, if we have a look along the train, you'll see that yeah, our all the pantographs are all down, because yeah, we are running on the DC line. But yeah, the best thing about that is that the Javelin's utterly fucking useless equivalent of the C-APT does not operate when you are using DC. So we have 28 miles still to run, but it should be fairly easy going from here on in. So let's get some speed up. Unfortunately, we will not be going anywhere near as fast as this train can do. We have a 30 mph say fast appearing, so let's start braking. The other thing is that the speedo here in DC displays in mph, which is the speed we want it to be showing, not fucking kilometres an hour. This is C of E, not oh dear, I nearly sounded like some fucking Brexiteer then. I was just saying, yeah, it's English, not fucking European. So yeah, really to sum up how things have gone so far, I hate the Javelin's C-APT system. I hate the racket its windscreen wipers make, and I hate the fact that even though this thing can take corners at 140 miles an hour just fine, the passengers do nothing but complain about it when you do. I really do not like this train one bit. Right, so we're into the 30 mph section. Thankfully it's not too long, and then we can take it up to, actually I was going to say we can take it up to 70, but by the time the whole train has got through that 70, we are down to 50 again. I don't know what station this is, but clearly we would not be stopping here anyway because we're on the central passing line, not one of the stopping lines. Right, so we're into a 70 section, but yeah, it's so short, so we'll only go up to 50 because we'll have passed that 50 mph section as we have now before we even hit 50 mph, and we will be able to go up to 70 fairly soon, but not just yet. So we're in the 70 mph section, we just got to wait for the rest of the train to enter it. There we go. Now I say, by this loco standards, 70 mph is fuck all. This thing can do twice that easily. But yeah. Unfortunately, we're pretty much on a regular commuter line now. That's unavoidable. We were going to end up on this sort of, you know, this line anyway, no matter how we got here, whether I actually drove here or, yeah, reloading the game, which I really had to do. Because there was no way I was going to just crawl along. For the next, well, the ETA was showing 12 hours. No. As it is, it's now showing that it's going to take us about 35 minutes to reach Faversham. Higham station coming up in 1.5 miles. Now I am pretty sure that this is not the only line that the class 395 was used on. I think they were also used on the none at the Birmingham line, you know, from Euston. Now that is a route that I don't have at the moment, but it's one that I do want to get. So maybe when I get that, we will be able to see the 395 actually in action. I mean, we did see the thing doing, you know, close to 140, but it was entirely underground, so the sense of speed just wasn't there. So I suspect this is just, it's one of those routes where, yeah, the quick drive option, it's just wasn't designed for quick drive. I don't know why. There are plenty of players who play nothing but quick drive. Right. I don't know what that AWS was for, because there's no... I mean, there's not a huge amount of signals on this route. So if there are anything like unexpected diversions coming up, I can't see it. Well, I don't think that's going to be an unexpected diversion, but reducing speed to 15 mph is not something that we can ignore. Well, unless I'm in a class 89 approaching, was it Lockerbie? Well, I didn't ignore it, but yeah. I'd like to think the brakes on this loco are pretty impressive, and we will be able to get away with not having a brake until we're about 1/2 mile away, despite the fact we've got to brake right the way down to 15. Right, so let's start braking now. Okay, brakes are not quite as good as I thought they would be, but they're not too shabby. I think we'll certainly, yeah, easy before we hit the 15. There we go. So we crawl along, going through Strood Station, and once we're the other side, we're only going to get an increase to 20 mph. high speed, it says there. I've spent the vast majority of my time in this fucking piece of shit barely moving. Now hopefully once we're off this turning section here and onto the main line again, we'll actually get some sort of decent speed coming up. I still have the best part of 20 miles to go. So we're on to a 20 mph section as we cross presumably the Medway. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the Medway. So we are approaching Rochester, half a mile away. We are now able to do a staggering 30 mph. The thing is, I've done this route several times in other, like, you know, just regular EMU trains, and it's been fine. I've had no problems at all with it. I actually quite like it. I am not liking doing this route in this thing though. I mean, the one good thing is that no matter what anyone requests, including any more of Jim's requests, it cannot fail to be better than this one. So, going through Rochester, and then Chatham is more or less right on top of us. It's not even half a mile down the line. And then once we're out of Chatham, we can increase speed to a staggering 50 mph. It is an extremely dark tunnel. That 50 mph section that's coming up is not even half a mile long, and then we can bump up the speed even further to 60. I'll say it doesn't sound like a lot, and let's be honest, it's not a lot, but the locos that you are usually driving around here, you know, you're very sort of ordinary everyday EMUs, yeah, that is not so bad. But we're in a fucking 395. We're in a fucking Javelin. We're supposed to be doing 140. in a 50 mph section. Let's get some speed up. It's certainly not going to take us very long to get the speed up to 50 mph. So there we are. Now we're on a 1 in 132 climb. No wonder the speed dropped off really quickly, but now we can do 60. And once we pass Gillingham, just under 1.5 miles down the line, we can get up to 90 mph. We are starting to actually approach high speed. Right, so we're in the 90 section, just got to wait for the rest of the train to pass the sign, and then away we go. Right. Let's get some more speed up there. Let's start actually approaching the sorts of speeds that we should be doing easily in this thing. So Rainham is the next station. Speed decreased to 80 as we reach the end of there. So the 90 mph section was not particularly long. In fact, I've now got to start shaving off some speed to get us down to 80 in time. I mean, I'm doing it way too early as always, but there we go. So through Rainham Station. So now, yeah, 80 mph max. Another speed reduction coming up in 1.5 miles down to 70. Yeah, this is definitely a route that you want to be doing the regular EMU, not this fucking thing. get ourselves down to 70. There we go. We do have a speed increase coming up, so it'll take us back up to 80 again. And we are going to be, yeah, we're on a fairly steep climb here. It's pretty short, but now I wonder if we are going to start gaining speed as we come down here. And bearing in mind that, yeah, we are. So I thought with how long and how heavy this train is, say it's a 12-car train, we may not have, but yet we did. So again, I've no idea why the AWS went off then, but yeah, just avoided speeding there. We're still on the downward slope, 1 in 264. It's not exactly steep, yeah, and we are actually losing speed, so so here we are approaching Sittingbourne. So we are now only about 7.5 miles from Faversham. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it is the next station. I've no idea if Faversham is actually a terminus or what. I guess we'll find out fairly soon. So I just thought, actually, yeah, I was saying a little earlier about this train being used on the London to Birmingham line. That line is electrified overhead, so if you were doing that line, you'd have, yeah, this fucking thing active throughout it. I'm not so sure I would want that. Anyway, short, or small, I should say, speed decrease needed as we approach Tainham Station. There we go. And then speed goes up to 80, and then there's another increase. about half a mile on from there up to 85. So we are at 75 mph and through Tainham station. So now we're in the 80 mph section, but we just need to wait for the entire train to enter it. There we go. And then we have some incremental increases, and in just over a mile we will be able to travel at 90. So we're now in the 85 section. Very nearly speeding through there, but we're okay. So this 90 mph section is quite short. It's about a mile and a quarter before we then have to bring the speed down to 75 again. Right, so we can do 90. Not for long, but we may as well get some speed up. And that's warning us about the 75 mph section coming. So I couldn't even get the train up to 75. I'm going to need to brake a little harder, I think, as we are now on a fairly steep downhill section. Speed is still coming down. So yeah, we're fine. Yeah, once I coast, we are actually picking up speed on this downhill section, but not much. So Faversham is just over a mile away. We need to brake pretty heavy. We might as well ignore this 60 mph thing because we got a 25 right after it. Yeah, this thing does not brake as quickly as I would like. Certainly nowhere near as fast or as quickly at braking as the APT, a train that is some at least 15 years older than this. So that's is that single yellow? Oh, it's double yellow. Okay, that is fine. In fact, yeah, we're stopping in Faversham station, so it doesn't matter if that was single yellow. So here we are. We have reached Faversham. Not even remotely in the way that I would have liked to have done it, but yeah, well, you saw what happened. You saw what a fucking farce it was. So if I hadn't, you know, skipped all of that section, up to Ebbsfleet, this video would have been 13 hours long. As it is, this thing's saying it wants us to stop at Faversham platform 1 and we are on Faversham platform 2. It's not done with pissing us about yet, has it? So right, so we need to be on that platform there, which means we've got to go along the siding, but there is nowhere that I can change unless it will do it for me once we're there. So okay, we'll try that. Right, doors are all shut, so we can move. Let's head to the siding. And we'll see if the yeah, the points get changed automatically so that we can then make our way to Faversham platform 1. Because of how long this fucking train is, I'm not even sure I can fit the whole thing in these in this siding. In fact, I think, yeah, there's our answer. No, we absolutely cannot. I mean, okay, I didn't hit the buffers, so right, we'll change ends. There we are, and Faversham 1, right, there we go. So that, yeah, signal is red. So this is definitely as far as we are going. And I can't get all of the train on, well, on the marked area. In fact, the platform does go beyond there, so I think we'll be okay. There we go. So the timer is there. So job done. Yeah, it's fair to say that was not my favourite go of this game. But yeah, we made it from Ebbsfleet to Faversham without any faults at all, which is not bad going. But the section, say, from St Pancras to Ebbsfleet was fucking ridiculous. And yeah, I really did have no option but to skip it completely, because it would have been a 13-hour video, and you saw how slow I was having to go in that section. Once we came out of the second tunnel from St. Pancras, the Javelin's equivalent to the C-APT system was just constantly telling us that we either went at naught, or it was showing 3 completely blank red squares, which doesn't tell me a fucking thing. And every time I thought, right, okay, let's just try and actually move, it didn't want to know. It would cutting with the brakes. So I would have had to have done that entire section at no more than like 25 mph. What a fucking joke. So yeah, I mean, I hated the class 395 to begin with, but after that I really do fucking detest it. It does seem as though perhaps, quick drive in this loco, especially starting anywhere that starting at St. Pancras, or anywhere the London end before you reach Ebbsfleet, is just unbearable. So not a favourite. Anyway, that is this one done. Yeah, that's about all I can say about it. That's this one done. We'll see you in the next one.